I met a Gypsy.
The way he explained it to me when we first went out there, I just wasn't quite picturing it yet, you know, but that guy sees it from underneath the ground up. So if you have a 30-foot toe up this hill for 100 yards and you dig in 5 feet for 30 feet, you're getting 10,000 square yards of dirt, right? So there's so much dirt there that it's like you don't ever see if you just, it takes a lot of work. And you know, that dude is an artist when it comes to dirt sculpting, you know, like from what that dude just created in 3 weeks that he was there and made that course what it was from last year in 3 weeks is like mind bending. And if you could take that dude and actually take it other places, like literally sky's the limit with creativity, you know? So ultimately that's my ultimate goal with this, is to expand and take it different places and different landscapes. And, ultimately just keep just learning and trying to build new, cool, weird, off the wall stuff and show people what's possible, really.
Is that probably the next thing you think is having something with like real elevation? Like, is that like what would take the imagination course to the next level in your mind?
Yeah, for sure. Just elevation, just kind of just different feel of like not creating these jumps on something that, you know, we're taking from other places and trying to create that on something flat. Like we're, taking it to places with elevation or just, just like ultimately like to be able to expand and take this anywhere. Like if you look at like all the X Fighters courses, there was a lot of gnarly ones, but then you look at X Fighters Glen Helen, that was Jason Baker and Dane Heron that built that. And that was the most next level course, in my opinion, ever up until this point. After Imagination, that might have taken the cake just because of the scale of it. It was so much bigger than that little pit, but you saw what Jason created at X Fighters Glen Helen, and unfortunately it got ruined by weather and you never really got to see the possibilities from it. But on practice day, when those dudes were flipping up the step up and like jumping the step down back down the hill, like it's gnarly. It takes those stakes way higher for us to have elevation and be jumping up and down hills like that. But man, it's just all about, I can see a place with elevation and I can just picture like how to link all this stuff together, and then ultimately all the dirt that you're pulling off the hill, it's like you can create stuff down in the flat bottoms and like have a more or less another dirt skate park basically in an arena, you know, jumps up the hill, down the hill, like all over. Like it's sky's the limit, man. Really, like you can get more features, more like that jib style stuff with the wall ride and the dump truck, and like, dude, sky is the limit. Like you just keep making weird off the wall stuff. And I think that's something to be said of also with this course, of seeing an overhead view of this course and you see the dump truck and it looks about this big. It gives you a scale of like how big it actually is. Like that wall ride was 15 feet to the bottom of the wall. And then the wall ride was 15 feet tall and 25 feet long from there. So like we are straight up like wall riding a billboard, you know, and there's no room for error on a lot of this stuff, but, it's just all, you know, trying to push the limits of our sport and progress and, you know, be creative. And obviously all that comes from being inspired by other action sports of, you know, these dudes wall riding on BMX and mountain bike. And, you know, you see slope style at X Games, winter X Games, and you see the wall rides in the slope style course now. And to be honest with you, you know, this is, I look at this very similarly that I do to snowboarding, as snowboarding is like spin to win now. The style aspect has kind of gone away, and kudos to the small group of dudes that are bringing the style back to it. And now the courses are starting to change with the style because people are getting over the spin to win. Like you watch them and the announcers are like, I need to see a replay. I don't even know what he just did. He just did a freaking 2,500. You know what I mean? So that's how this is with freestyle. Like freestyle has gotten to that point where it's like now it's not just like a spin to win type thing, you know. We're trying to create something that like has creativity and style rather than just a spin to win or have to do a double backflip variation or you're not getting invited to X Games, you know. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be all about style, creativity, and just innovating within those lines, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it is the course too, you know. Like the jumps are so big, like you might be able to flip a couple of these jumps, and then if you do flip, it's like it's not really going to push you over the edge that much, you know. But I think, yeah, like making the shit so big, it's like, and you just get to see like a rider's real style when they've got that much time in the air. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.